This video is intended only to supplement the written installation instructions that accompanied your product, not to replace those installation instructions. The written installation instructions should be read and available to you before you attempt to install the product. If you have any questions about the instructions in this video or are not comfortable performing the installation demonstrated, contact manufacturer's customer service. Before you begin the cooktop installation, refer to the installation manual for a list of recommended tools and parts you may need. For proper cooktop installation, the countertop opening should be 34 3/4 inches from side to side and 19 15/16 inches from front to back. There will need to be at least 6 inches of clearance on each side of the cooktop. The electrical supply for the appliance must be 120 volts at 60 Hz. A dedicated circuit is recommended. The gas supply pipe must be equipped with a manual shutoff valve. If local codes permit, a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch flexible stainless steel supply line should be used to connect the cooktop to the rigid gas supply pipe. Unless you're using a duct-free filter accessory kit, the cooktop must be exhausted outdoors. Refer to the vent system charts in the installation manual to determine the size and number of vent sections and elbow joints required. No more than 3 90-degree elbow joints should be used, and there should be a minimum of 18 inches of straight venting between the elbow joints. A vent cap with a backdraft damper will need to be installed over the venting on the home's exterior wall or on the roof. Caulking should be used to seal the space around the cap. Warning: excessive weight hazard. Use 2 or more people to move and install cooktop. Failure to do so can result in back or other injury. Have an assistant help you to set the cooktop upside down on the packaging foam, keeping the control knobs clear of the packaging. Position the plenum on the cooktop base so the round opening faces the wire harness. Using a 1/4 inch nut driver, thread and tighten the 6 screws to secure the plenum. Now use a Phillips head screwdriver to unthread the 2 screws securing the plenum access panel and remove the panel. Remove the protective caps from the blower motor mounting bolts. Now align the motor on the plenum so the blower outlet faces the appropriate direction to line up with the installed venting. Slide the washers over the blower motor mounting bolts. Then thread on the locking nuts and hand tighten. Avoid fully tightening the nuts at this time. Next, connect the blower electrical connector to the cooktop. Position the cover on the burner box and secure it with the 2 screws. Now apply pipe joint compound to the threads of the manifold. Thread the pressure regulator onto the manifold. Make sure the arrow is pointing toward the bottom of the burner box. Use an adjustable wrench and channel lock pliers to tighten the pressure regulator. The regulator access cap should be facing the front of the cooktop. If applicable, you can now begin to install the cooktop clamping brackets. Use a 1/4 inch socket or nut driver to unthread the attachment screws from the burner box. Select the appropriate bracket mounting hole that will allow each bracket to extend out far enough from the edge of the cooktop to install the clamping screws, and begin threading the attachment screws through the brackets. Rotate the brackets so they don't extend beyond the edge of the burner box, and tighten the screws. Now have an assistant help you to position the cooktop in the cutout space of the countertop. Rotate the motor as necessary to align it with the vent, then attach the venting. With the venting attached, you can now tighten the blower motor locking nuts. Replace the access panel and secure it with the screws. Now loosen the 2 adjustment screws and rotate the clamping brackets outward, then tighten the screws. Next, thread one of the clamping screws through the outermost hole in the bracket. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to tighten the screw against the underside of the countertop. Avoid over-tightening the screw. Repeat for the opposite side to fully secure the cooktop. Warning: explosion hazard. Use a new CSA International approved gas supply line. Install a shutoff valve. Securely tighten all gas connections. If connected to LP, have a qualified person make sure gas pressure does not exceed 14 inches, 36 centimeters, water column. Examples of a qualified person include licensed heating personnel, authorized gas company personnel, and authorized service personnel. Failure to do so can result in death, explosion, or fire. Apply pipe joint compound to any non-flared adapter ends. Attach one adapter to the gas pressure regulator and the other adapter to the pipe with the gas shutoff valve. Wrench tighten both adapters. Next, attach the flexible gas supply line to the adapters. All connections must be wrench tightened, but avoid over-tightening. With the gas connections secured, open the gas shutoff valve and test all of the connections by applying a non-corrosive leak detection solution. The solution will bubble if there is a leak. Any leaking connection should be corrected. Install the grease filter so the top of the filter rests against the right side of the vent opening and the bottom of the filter rests against the left side of the vent chamber. Next, align each burner base with the appropriate orifice holder so the igniter electrode protrudes through the hole in the base. Position the burner caps on the bases. Align the 3 burner grates along with the vent grill. Warning: electrical shock hazard. Plug into a grounded 3-prong outlet. Do not remove ground prong. Do not use an adapter. Do not use an extension cord. Failure to follow these instructions can result in death, fire, or electrical shock. Plug the cooktop power cord into the electrical outlet. Now check the operation of the surface burners by turning each control knob to the ignite setting. The gas will normally ignite within 4 seconds, although this may take longer the first time a burner is lit because of air in the gas line. With the control knob set too high, confirm that the burner produces a clean blue flame with no yellow tip. When the control knob is turned to the low setting, The flame should be approximately 1/4 inch high. If necessary, you can adjust the height of the flame. With the burner set to low, remove the control knob and secure the gas valve stem with a pair of pliers. Using a 1/8 inch non-flared flathead screwdriver, rotate the adjustment screw inside the stem clockwise to reduce the flame height, and counterclockwise to increase the height of the flame. Replace the control knob or knobs, and check each flame by turning the control from low to high. With all of the flames properly adjusted, the cooktop should be ready for use.